Hello everyone, welcome to my channel Knowledge Transfer. In today's topic, I'm going to cover what is standard receipt reversal and what is debit memo receipt reversal. So, let me give it a brief first before we jump into the system. So, reversal, forget about standard or debit memo, but the reversal will come into the picture only if let's say due to some reason you had created a receipt, but unfortunately the amount haven't been transferred into your bank account. So let's take an example. Let's say there is one customer has taken a service from you, and the same way you had created a transaction against that particular customer of around $400. Now customer had make a payment through a check, and you are expecting that the check will be getting cleared because that customer is your regular customer, and every time whenever he is making a check payment, the check used to get cleared without any issues or any types of check bounce issues and all. So what you did, you had created a receipt against that particular transaction expecting that check will be clear for sure, but unfortunately the check wasn't able to clear due to some let's say an example, there was an insufficient fund or there was some signature issue, any types of issue, but check got bounced. So in that case, you had already applied a receipt against a transaction, so balance amount will be zero, right? So in order to make a balance amount like transaction amount available for another receipt, what you will do? You will do a reversal. There is a concept called as reversal. So in this case, the receipt we will be closing it with a reversal and creating a separate receipt for a particular transaction again, and transaction will be available for creating a receipt. Now, what does it mean by debit memo? So in this case, transaction will be closed, receipt will be closed. System will create a debit memo invoices in your transaction page. As we know, debit memo we use for increasing the transaction, right? So system, what you will do? System will close the transaction with a particular receipt and create a new debit memo invoices with the same customer name, and it will be available for creating a receipt again. So this is how a reversal work. Mm, Let's quickly jump into the system and see the process. So let me create a receipt. Oh, sorry, create a transaction. My Bell BSU US business unit. Transaction source is my invoices. Okay, my customer. And this one is knowledge transfer standard reversal 001. Let's take quantity one with a $400. Complete and close. So my transaction number is 14002. Keep it here. Same way, duplicate a tab. Now I'll be creating a receipt against that particular transaction. Create a receipt, value US. Receipt method, you can select your one which you had created. This one is knowledge transfer, standard reversal 001. Amount was of $400. And here let me give submit and apply manually. Click on add open receivables. My transaction number. I'm going a bit speed for creating a transaction as well as creating a receipt because already I had covered multiple times. I will be going a bit slow during the time of reversing it. So this is the transaction. I'm just applying it. Click on done. Click on save. So as you can see, amount due is 0, and the same way when you are going it from the billing page as a managed transaction and search for the transaction, click on action, click on review installment, you can see amount due as 0 and the status has been closed. Correct. Now, what we will do is, you can see here the total apply amount is 400, unapplied is amount 0, means already the transaction has been closed with a receipt. Now, I want to reverse it. So, what you will do it, click on action, click on reverse, select the category like let's say non-sufficient fund, any types of reason you can give it, or like payment reversal or non-sufficient fund is enough. Click on reverse. So you can see before it was total amount as 400 applied, now it is 0. So it is done. So let's quickly come into the transaction page again and let's check what was the amount due, like what is showing as a balance due. Click on action again, click on review installment. You can see the status has been changed as a open and the balance due is around 400. Click on save and close. So this is how receipt reversal works as a standard receipt reversal. Now, what I will do is, let me create a transaction again for the second scenario, that is debit memo receipt reversal. Click on done, task list. Let's create a transaction. Again, the BAL invoice, what we are planning was $500. BAL invoices, BAL, BAL customer, description, let's say knowledge transfers. This one is debit memo receipt reversal 001, quantity 1, sum of around 500. Now complete and close. My transaction number is 14003. Okay, click OK. Let's create a receipt against it. Let me, okay, create a receipt. My receipt method again, knowledge transfer, standard. No, this time is debit memo receipt reversal 001. Amount is 500. Correct. And submit and apply manually. Add open receivables. Select your transaction number. Okay, 14003. Click on search. And here is the 500. Correct. Done. Now from here, again the concept will be same. Click on save. Whenever we will be going back to the transaction, my transaction number, you can see the review installment is 0 and the status will be closed. But even though if we are reversing it from the debit memo receipt reversal, the status will be close only. Let me show you how and why. Click on action, reverse, select any category, non-sufficient fund, and here we are using as debit memo receipt reversal and bell debit memo. We have created a transaction type as bell debit memo. That's the reason it is showing up. If you haven't created any debit memo transaction type, you won't be able to use it over here. Click on reverse. So you won't be seeing any necessary changes like total applied amount is 500 only, and the transaction also there is no changes. Let me show you by refreshing in the page. It's closed. Means this transaction has been closed with a particular receipt with a 500. So how does the reversal work? So here the reversal work is system had created the previous transaction, so forget about a transaction, ignore this transaction and the receipt. What system does is system will create again a debit memo transaction with the name of the same customer with a positive signs. So mostly like we are billing to the customer again with the help of a debit memo, and we can create a receipt on that debit memo as well. Let me show you where we can find a debit memo. By today's date, go to manage transaction, give today's date. This one, 500. So system had created with the transaction type as bell debit memo with a sum of around 500. And when you will go to the action and review installment, you can see the balance due as 500. So means we had billed to the customer again with the help of a bell debit memo, and we can create a receipt. So this is how standard receipt reversal and debit memo receipt reversal works in Oracle Fusion Accounts Receivables. Thank you.